So we're getting reports from Bynum Fire. Fire is actually reporting a tornado there near HCR 3106. So something to note here. Let's stay on the Abbott rotation, Jason, if you can. Something to note just towards the southwest, if you can go back to this tornado warning. Yeah. So there's Bynum. And I believe I'm saying that correctly. So the rotation, the velocity that we're seeing was right over Abbott, but we have to remember that radar sometimes can be delayed by a couple of minutes. So even though the rotation just looks like it's right over Abbott, it's likely downstream. So that's something important to note, is that that's why we're seeing reports coming out ahead of where that rotation looks like for us on radar. Radar is just a picture. It's just a snapshot of and there it is, the updated scan. So that updated scan now shows that rotation, and it looks like it's right over Bynum there, or just to the south, and this will continue to again progress towards the northeast. And this one of two tornado warnings in southern North Texas, just to the north of Waco, just to the southeast of Hillsboro. So there's a look at the rotation. Can we zoom in just a little bit more? I want to see what this road is. I'm not quite sure there. I know I-35 there. So this Highway 171 and FM 2142, that's where that rotation is being seen. And of course, getting that update from Bynum Fire Department that there is rotation now being seen on the ground. Did we already look at the correlation coefficient with this one? I know we saw this going over 35, and that's just kind of gives us a better idea if there's some debris being picked up. And of course, this area just to the east of I-35, a little bit more rural. So if there is some debris, it's likely not a whole lot. Again, this is in Hill County, southern Hill County. Can we zoom out just a little bit and take it back to reflectivity? And see, and again, if at the very least, very large hail being produced by this storm, it's just to the southeast of Hillsboro. If you are in southern Hill County, or if you are in, I should say, eastern Hill County now, you need to make sure to take shelter. This tornado warning in place until 2:15. It is currently 2 o'clock, so another 15 minutes or so. But this is an area that still has quite a bit of instability, and like we were saying, I mean, this still has a little bit of room to grow because we are seeing some of that inflow going in there. Let's go ahead and take a look at our other tornado warning. And this one is now has been extended to include Ellis County, but currently rotation is in Navarro County. And this does look like it goes just to the north of Corsicana. So Corsicana not technically included. And wow, that is an impressive signature with rotation. So this is our velocity product, and this is where we're looking at really bright colors and red and blues and greens next to each other. That's indicating that rotation. Just to the south of M House, just to the north of Barry. I know Jesse Hawila had been talking about Barry and that rotation. So if you're unfamiliar with this, this is in Navarro County, just to the north of Highway 22, just to the west of Interstate 45. Do we have a distance tracker, Jason, that we can see how far to the west of 45 that is? And again, this is for that tornado warned storm that's in northern Navarro County heading into Ellis County. Yeah, only 10 miles away from I-45 there. So again, this rotation over M House, 10 miles away from 45, closing in on I-45. And it'll likely impact just to the south of Alma if it holds this rotation, and it holds that track. So if you are in southern or southeastern Ellis County, if you're near Alma, if you're near I-45 close to Rice, if you're in northern Navarro County north of Corsicana, you are in a tornado warning. This is a strong storm. Make sure to seek shelter. For what that looks like is a sturdy building, middle part of the house if you can. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible, away from any windows, and make sure to bring, say, your phone or your tablet with you so you can keep streaming us in case you do lose power, because at the very least, this is a storm that's providing for some very strong winds. And this is a storm that has held its rotation since about 11. So that's now going on 3 hours. And this is actually a confirmed tornado. Again, this just to the northeast of Blooming Grove, heading towards M House. And again, that tornado warning in place. Was this one in place? Can we go back to reflectivity there? So we can show, yeah, in place until 2:30. So again, very strong storm, not technically including Ennis, the community of Ennis there, but just to the east of that. We do have a crew that is actually has just arrived to Waxahachie. I've told them to stay put. I don't want them to keep driving to the south, because then they'll be driving into this. Is there a way we can pull up their driving shot? I believe they're off of 287 there in Waxahachie. And they're facing, yes, it's parked in Waxahachie, and it looks like they are facing towards the south, I believe, last I checked. But I know that they are stayed there, and that's what it looks like there. Okay, so you can see out in the distance, very dark, just, and it looks very, it actually looks dry there. So again, this is Waxahachie, but this is Ellis County. Now we are looking towards the south here along 287. It does look like a lot of people are out on the roadways. Again, it's Friday afternoon. A lot of people likely hitting the roads, maybe going on a small road trip. So if you have any of your people, any friends, any family that's on either Interstate 45 or 35 heading south, you want to make sure that they are not on the roads, because we have 2 active tornado warnings and that have impacted 35 and one that's heading towards I-45, and that rotation only, I mean, less than 10 miles away from 45 at this point. Jesse Hawila taking a little bit of a breather here. Any new updates for us?
I know we've seen reports on I-35. I'm sorry, I-45. Let me go back here. Actually, if we could go back to radar. My apologies for this. We did see reports of overturned semis.
Oh no.
Near the town of Abbott. So let's see here. If we could zoom in, Jason, if you don't mind, near the town of Abbott. This is going to be along I-35. There it is, right there. So you remember we were talking, and Marielle was talking about that. This is the area where that rotation crossed I-35. We're seeing reports of overturned 18-wheelers here on I-35 near Abbott. So that we've already had confirmation that we have a tornado doing damage in this area. That is just in addition to that. If we take a look now, we can zoom out a little bit more and show you where the 2 areas of rotation that we're most concerned with, one in Hill County, one crossing, it's in Navarro County right now, but man, it's starting to kind of take this little bit of a jog. This is it right here. This is where the tornado will be. This is taking a bit of a jog to the northeast. There's our other area of rotation in Hill County. We're going to keep an eye on that as it's moving back into the same areas, nearly the same area this initial tornado warned area went. So there's one rotation there. There's the other one. This one we have confirmation of a tornado. So what we'll do here, we're going to zoom into where this area of rotation is. Again, Corsicana. You've avoided, this has moved to your north. We still need you to watch, if you live in Corsicana, that area of rotation in Hill County, that is also moving into Navarro County. Okay, so we're going to keep an eye on that. But here, this is a very strong signature for rotation. We have a confirmed tornado. This has maintained itself, like Marielle said, for hours. If you go back, you can see how strong this area and how tight this area of rotation is. This is headed right toward Rice. Okay, let's go. This is perfect. Jason Joseph, our producer here, showing you. Here's where it was to the west of Hubbard. There's Abbott right there. Okay, that's where we had those overturned semis, the 18-wheelers. Here it is. Look how the rotation has maintained its strength through this entire path of Navarro County. Now, still very strong, still very tight rotation, moving toward Rice. This is in M-House. We've had confirmation of damage in Barry and a confirmed tornado near Barry. This now again moving to the northeast. There's Alma, there's Rice, there's I-45. Again, Ennis technically included in this, and there's the track of it as it moves to the northeast. So it'll be in the Rice area. Let's see, it's 2:08 now, so about 10 minutes. You have 10 minutes to get into your safe place in Rice. Alma, 2:22. Tellico, around 2:34. Again, confirmed tornado. We're seeing not only confirmation here on radar. We've had people in the crew, emergency managers in Navarro County confirming damage and confirming debris in the area near Barry, and now in M-House as well. So that's our first area. We're going to go down to the second area of rotation now. With this, now we look at this, it's not as tight and well defined as that first area we just showed you. However, these storms, what they can do, what we call cycle. You know, they can go from broad areas of rotation to tight areas of rotation, back to broad, and it may just be in that cycle where it's broadened out a little bit. Still very strong winds, but I would say that if anything, you know, there may have been a tornado at some point. There probably was with this thunderstorm. This to me looks like a cycle of where maybe it has lifted temporarily. We put radar back on. The same area right here. Okay, so if we look at the loop, you see we did have that well-defined hook, not as well-defined as it was, but this tornado warning is until 2:15. The rotation would be between Bynum and Malone, moving toward Irene. Right now, again, we had the tornado that did damage. There's Abbott. That's where we had that report of 18-wheelers being flipped. Now, we still have a very intense thunderstorm with rotation, and if we put that rotation back on, and if we could, Jason, loop it, a couple frames, and what I want to show you is maybe how it's weakened a little bit. If we can go back down to where it was along I-35, right there. So you see, see how intense the rotation was. We'll take it frame by frame here. Very strong rotation south of the Vaquilla, and then we get into Abbott. That's where that crossed I-35. That is likely what caused those 18-wheelers to flip. Then you see how it's you see how the reds have started to dissipate a little bit, still the bright blues. That means the rotation may have broadened out and weakened just enough. But, you know, this right here near Abbott, that is about as obvious of a sign for a tornado as you can get when it comes to velocity. There's Malone. So again, still a concern as it moves into Navarro County. But right now, the stronger of the two areas of rotation will be the one to the northeast. That's the one that is a tornado warning for Navarro County and parts of Ellis County. So you can zoom in here. Kind of interesting velocity signature, really. Can we go back a couple of scans? I want to kind of analyze here what's... So you see we had, you know, these bright pinks, these oranges. That's an intense velocity signature. And go to the northeast, a couple frames here. Sorry for that, Jason. Yeah, we'll kind of click it forward. There's the tight area of rotation, confirmed tornado and damage. Now, so no, we're not letting our guard down by any means. Is this the current view, Jason? Yes. This is current. Okay, great. We're not letting our guard down. We still have, you know, good reason to believe that there could be a tornado at any time, but you can kind of see how it's weakening a little bit. Okay, you see those brighter colors they've kind of lost their intensity. That's where it was. Here's where it is. So still rotating. It's a still rotating thunderstorm, and you still need to make sure you're in your safe place, especially between Rice and Alma, right along I-45. There's the tornado warning that's in effect for the next 15 minutes. There's the rotation. While it has weakened some, it hasn't weakened enough that we can just say, okay, everybody go about your business. I still really want you to pay very close attention and be somewhere where you can get safe, because again, there's Ennis, I-45. The other problem here, this is about to cross another interstate. You have a lot of traffic that travels between not only areas like Ennis, down to Corsicana, but people that travel between Dallas and Houston, are other areas southeast of North Texas. So the latest track of this area of rotation, 216 in Rice. So within the next, I would say 4 or 5 minutes. Alma around 221, Tellico around 234. The only bit of good news, again, and it's not it doesn't mean we're all in the clear and everything's good. It just means maybe we've lost a little bit of that intensity of that rotation. So great news there. We're going to keep an eye on this. Still a tornado warning, though, in effect for the next 15 minutes. Okay, let's reset. I see do we have video here? Is that video from,
Yes.
is this viewer video here that we have, Ed? What do we have?
This viewer, what's the video from? What's the video?
We'll get.
This live picture.
This is Janelle's live picture. She's in Waxahachie, I believe, facing south. So we are still watching the thunderstorms. You can see we have crews all over North Texas right now. This is the live shot from Waxahachie. Janelle Fort is in the area watching the thunderstorms. And I know we have confirmation of damage again from Abbott into Berry, so parts of Hill County, parts of Navarro County. Right now, that rotation moving into southeastern portions of Ellis County, which is where Janelle is. And that's where she's facing here in Waxahachie. So we have crews on the ground kind of keeping an eye on things. We're here watching it on radar as we kind of reset to see what's happening across North Texas. What we'll do is we're going to come back to a wider view of radar and just kind of get a reset of what's happening across North Texas. So first and foremost, there's the wide view of radar. First and foremost, we'll say the Dallas-Fort Worth area right now, there is no severe weather. We have a little thunderstorm that's popped up in southwestern parts of Dallas County, but nothing severe at this time. The two tornado-warned storms right now, that's in Navarro County, that's in Ellis County, and then that's the one in Hill County right there. So we're gonna kind of show you these are where the thunderstorms are. If we could, Jason, put up the tornado watch. And you'll see why. This is where the area of concern is at this time. There's the tornado watch that's in effect until 6 p.m. Technically, it includes Dallas County and Tarrant County. It also includes Collin County. But really, the area that we're seeing the thunderstorms train and the better parameters for tornadoes a little bit farther to the south. So, in this type of environment, any thunderstorm that pops up could become severe very quickly, and then unfortunately, it does have the potential to produce a tornado. So we're going to watch this one carefully. Can we zoom into that thunderstorm, if you don't mind, Jason, into southwestern Dallas County? Right now, this is near Cedar Hill. I will say this would be a young storm, if you will, near Cedar Hill. This will be moving into downtown Dallas very shortly. We'll keep a very close eye on this. Like I said, any storms that pop up could quickly become severe. Marielle, we had, was it golf ball size hail in Arlington?
Yes, golf ball size hail near Randall Mill in North Arlington. And that happened, really quickly and then very quickly just dissipated as that storm pushed to the northeast. Right. So, that golf ball sized hail, it really did pop up pretty quickly because when that storm was in Johnson County, it was producing penny sized hail. So very quickly it intensified. So obviously, that could happen with those storms, right, especially under these, conditions.
Yeah. So Marielle was saying that these thunderstorms she was tracking earlier. We had confirmed golf ball size hail in Arlington, then the storm kind of fizzled away. It lost its intensity pretty quickly, but it also came up very quickly. That's why we're going to keep a really close eye on this thunderstorm here. That's sitting in Cedar Hill and Duncanville right now, kind of rolling up into Dallas. So we'll watch that. Not severe at this time, but that is something we're going to keep a very close eye on. The concern at this time is to the south of the Metroplex. That's where we've had confirmed tornadoes. That's where we've had confirmed damage from those tornadoes. The first one, a very messy thunderstorm. Lots of hail, lots of very heavy rain here near Rice. But to get a clear picture of where that velocity, or where that rotation might be, we turn on our velocity product. And that's where you can see, it kind of gets rid of the mess there. This allows us to see where the thunderstorm is rotating. This is an interesting signature to me because I see two somewhat defined areas of rotation very close together. You have this one, and we're talking maybe as the crow flies 3 miles, 4 miles west of Rice, and then a little bit farther than that, you have another little tight couplet. But this is not as intense as it was just moments ago. So, the good news that we're seeing, at least right now, is that the rotation has kind of come down a little bit. It's not good enough news for you to just, forget about your tornado safety procedures, but it is at least good news to see that it has calmed down a tad. That tornado signature, not as intense as it was, but it is still there and it is still a concern. That's why if you live in Rice, You live along 45, then to the north into parts of Ellis County near Alma, make sure you're in a safe place. This thunderstorm has produced several tornadoes. We've seen confirmation. We've seen damage from them. And they've been ongoing for now 3.5 hours, all the way down near Killeen. These things have been very intense, and they continue to hold their intensity very well. So again, that's one area of rotation that we're concerned about. The other, let's see what the latest is here in Hill County. So is the warning canceled? I guess so. The warning was expired at 2:15. It looks like it hasn't been reissued. And if we kind of go back a few scans, Jason, thanks for doing this, by the way, Jason. Jason Joseph, our weather producer. Now, the last time we checked in on this is where it was. It was a bit weaker, okay? Now, if we take a couple scans, to me, that's concerning, okay? Maybe there's a tornado warning being issued shortly. I'm not sure. We will see. But to me, this is a concerning signature. When you see what happens, yes, Marielle, what's up?
They went ahead and the tornado warning officially expired, but just because of the trends, they're waiting on one more scan to see if it's going to be issued again. So we're not out of the woods with that rotation. Yeah. It's just we're waiting on another scan to come down.
And I can kind of see, we don't have the warning yet, but based on the last two scans from there to there, I'd almost imagine we get another warning. Now, if we don't, we'll see. Either way, if you're not under the warning, but if you live, you live in Irene, Emmett, Frost, Blooming Grove, Dresden, areas that have already been under the gun. I mean, obviously, this is the type of environment you want to stay aware.
Absolutely. And again, this is just to the south of Highway 22. And this new scan that's popping up now, I mean, I would imagine they're going to continue with a tornado warning for, that rotation right there. So, I would imagine that that's coming shortly. In addition to the other rotation upstream, that'll definitely continue. So I'll be watching for any updates for you, Jesse.
Thank you, Marielle. Thank you, everybody, for your help back there. But there's that new circulation that we're watching here, somewhere between this. So here again, this we've been talking about the same area because these rotations keep moving near the same areas, and it's essentially just south of 22. And there's Irene right there. This is not tornado warned yet. We're going to keep an eye on it, but we're going to go back to the northeast because we have, those little areas of rotation. We're starting to tighten up a little bit the northern portion of Navarro County and the southern portion of Ellis County. We go to that area next on our velocity to see what's going on. The latest scan here. So again, this is still, it's trying to tighten back up. And Marielle was just saying what we see here in these situations. Thunderstorms what they'll do is they'll pulse up, the circulation will tighten, it will broaden out, it'll weaken a little bit, then it'll tighten again. So, just because it's in a moment of, weakness, if you will, doesn't mean we're really out of the woods, Marielle.
Yeah. Jesse, and this is that rotation that's heading towards I-45. Very strong storm. I've been watching it for the last 3.5 hours now, and it has that history of producing some tornadoes. And this one in particular, I'm going to show you this. This is actually a new rotation. So this is the old rotation right there. That's the one that Jesse was saying looked a little bit weaker. So there was the good news.